Hello, my name is Mindy, and a little bit about myself. I've worked here for a couple of years. I feel very enthusiastic about helping people, and I enjoy when I can help them reach their goals. My approach is simple, and it's a non-judgmental space, so feel free to say anything without harsh judgment. I like to work on goals. There'll be homework, and we will work on strategies to help meet those goals. Some skills I will use are self awareness and interpersonal communications. So, why don't you tell me a little bit about what brought you in?
Well, recently I've been just kind of struggling with my son. He's very, he's a good kid. He is just, not, he doesn't listen. Like, he doesn't want to do what I tell him to do, or if he does it, it's always later. I don't want to, not right now. Why does it have to be now? Just, I'll do it later. Things of that nature. Even, just petty stuff like feeding the dog. It's your dog, dude. Feed the dog. Just stuff like that, man. It gets very frustrating.
I can hear the frustration in your voice, and I certainly understand. I have teenagers myself. What are some strategies that you use?
So recently I like tried taking away the phone. I'll take away the internet. I'll take away, just things because technology is the only thing that kind of works with him. But I feel like every time I take it away, he just finds another method of using it. I'm pretty sure he's got tablets hidden in the room somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just, I mean, it kind of defeats the purpose if he's not going to listen.
So, what it sounds like is you've tried taking away the internet, the computers, and stuff like that, and it doesn't seem like it much works.
Yeah, no, I mean, it does sometimes. Like, I mean, it'll get him a little bit motivated. But I've also tried like reward strategies. Like, if you do this, this, and this, then we can go do this, or I'll bring you to the movies, or I'll do whatever stuff like that. And that seems to be a little bit more helpful. To get him motivated. But unfortunately, I think he's just stubborn and he can be very lazy.
Can you tell me a time when taking away the electronics actually did work?
Well, I ended up having to take his phone away for a couple days, and uh, it kind of worked. I mean, I don't know. It got him to pick up his dog poop at least. So I mean, it worked a little bit, but it's just the first couple days he didn't even care. You know what I mean? And then when it came to the weekend, then he cared. Then he needed his phone back, so he went and did what he should be doing anyway.
So, what it sounds like is you have taken away these things and giving them back as a reward, but the frustration in your voice, I can tell that you're running out of options. So, one of the goals I would like to set is maybe new strategies.
Sure, yeah.
And it sounds like you love him despite some communication issues. We can certainly work on some more good communication skills.
Absolutely.
Can you tell me how it makes you feel when he doesn't listen?
Oh, it's frustrating, and then I don't know. It's irritating. It's frustrating. It's just yeah. It drives me insane. It's like I'm the parent. You need to listen. Why do I need to listen now? Well, because that's how it works.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like my daughter, she listens. She listens just fine. You tell her to jump, she jumps. Not so much my son. I think I don't know with him though. I don't know. I feel a lot of guilt with him though, because I feel a lot of guilt with both my kids because I went to prison and I was out of their life for a little over 3 years. And when he was living with his grandma and his father, um, they would yell at him and say I'm going to take this away, and then they'd never take it away. So there wasn't any consequences. There was just a lot of screaming, which what does that do?
Yeah.
You know.
Can you tell me a little bit about prison? You were gone for a few years. Did you have any parenting um, situations where you were in control? I know being away is hard, but
Unfortunately, I was in Connecticut in a prison, and the only thing I got was 20-minute videos with each one of my kids every week. And it having having his dad in control of things was very frustrating because his dad is not exactly the role model citizen. He's an alcoholic. He's just never, I sure know how to pick him. Let's just put it that way. So yeah, it was a really shitty situation, him being stuck with his dad and grandma. Yeah.
I can see how that could be frustrating.
Yeah, definitely.
And when you came back,
Mm-hmm.
it was a whole new set of parenting rules, I would assume.
Yeah, so when I came back, I actually went back and I normally you go to a halfway house. Well, I didn't have to go to a halfway house because it was COVID time, so I ended up going and staying with my son's father and his grandma. They live in a duplex. It's not like they live right anyway. And I ended up staying with them while I was on my halfway house time, if you will, and it was challenging to say the least. I mean, there was a lot of people in that house, and like when I went there, oh my god, when I went there, his room was freaking destroyed. It was disgusting. Like none of his clothes fit. It's like, well, you know, it was horrible. It was horrible. It made me feel even worse, you know, because now my kid's sitting there going to school in clothes that don't fit, and you know, just it sucked. It sucked. It sucked.
Yes, you felt out of control, not knowing, not being able to.
Right. Why doesn't he have clothes? Like, I mean, my mom was sending them money, so like what were they doing with it? And he has a job, grandma has a job, everybody has jobs, but the kid doesn't have shit. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of strategies do you give him as a reward system?
Well, just like I said, I'll bring him up to the movies, or because he lived in Green Bay, or well, Ashwaubenon technically, and that's where a majority of his like closer friends are. So as a reward, you know, I'll be like, well, we can go pick up Ashlyn and Regan and whoever else. My son is like all friends with all females. I don't know. I swear to God, he's gay.
And that's okay.
It's okay. I'm okay with it. But anyway, yeah. So you know, I'll do stuff like that with him. You know, and I don't know, his friends, they all would rather hang out with me, and like, you know what I mean, like, so we'll go out and have lunch or whatever, you know what I mean. Now that he's older, he doesn't want to, like, I don't know, I wish I miss the little, when they were younger, when you could go to little bounce houses and stuff.
It sure is hard with teenagers. Rules and regulations, consequences and choices.
Yeah.
I can see how that's frustrating when you see your teenage son doing things other than you would like to see him do.
Right. Recently, he's got a friend from New Holstein. Well, he's not friends with her anymore, but I was introduced to her, and oh my god, yeah. You know how you feel sorry for a kid, but you still don't want your kid hanging out with that kid? You know?
Yes.
She was a fast little girl at age 12, very fast. You could tell she was destined for not good things, and I felt so bad for her, because you know there's something going on in her house, but you know, I can't help that. The only thing I can help is trying to get my son away from her, because she was, I mean, she's already, I don't know, swearing up a storm. I was like, can you not swear in my house? You know, stuff like that. Wearing high heels to a concert at age 12, like a concert, like a band concert, you know what I mean? Just, yeah, I don't know. She was just a very
It sounds like with this new friend, she might not be as...
She's not very healthy.
Yeah, she's not healthy.
Yeah.
Maybe some of the good strategies, and maybe your home.
Well, the thing is, like, now, what's good is, like, that girl, I don't know, it was a whole thing. I mean, the police department was called and everything, and, like, there's this whole issue with teenagers, like, I don't know, high schoolers getting involved and threatening kids, and I don't know, it was crazy. Somebody's even locked up for it, because we just got a victim statement. And so like my son's not hanging out with that girl anymore. I think she's currently in the like getting help. I hope she's getting help. I don't know. She's not in school apparently, so I'm assuming that she's getting help. But yeah, I don't know. So that's a good thing. But I don't know. It's just weird. It just. So he's doing okay now, I guess, with like the friend situation.
Yeah.
She's out of it. But.
It's always good to be able to watch your children have good friends, good choices, make good choices, and
yeah, I mean he does make good choices sometimes, and when he does, he gets rewarded for it. It's just when he doesn't listen, that's the biggest problem. What do you do?
So it sounds like in a lot of cases the internet is always a problem with teenagers. It doesn't seem like the internet is all that important to him. So you try to.
It is. He just finds other ways to utilize it. Like I don't know. He finds little wormholes.
It is very easy to do that, isn't it? It is.
Yeah. I mean, excuse me. But yeah, I don't know. He is a really good kid. He's really loving when he's loving. He's always making me stuff. Just the other day, he made me a sock puppet of Beetlejuice because I love the first movie, Beetlejuice. The second one's horrible. But anyway, just stuff like that. And like we do a lot of artsy craftsy stuff together, and we, like me, him, and my daughter will go hiking, and we'll go to a lot of parks, and swimming a lot in the summers, and just winter really sucks being boarded up,
Yes, the winter has that effect on everybody. It sounds like you give him enough things to do, and you are there.
Yeah.
I don't know how much guilt you feel now, if you would like to talk about some of that. Other than that, what I can say is that
I think what needs to happen is, honestly, I need to be, what is that word? Consistent.
Consistency, yes.
Yeah, and I'm not. I'll be like, that's the thing, is I'm not consistent. I don't know.
Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
I'll say I'm going to take your phone away, and then, if you don't do such and such, and then, like if you don't pick up the dog poop, I'm going to take your phone away, and then I'll forget to check to see if, excuse my language, to see if there's a dog, I forget to check if there's dog poop out there. So that's being inconsistent right there, if you don't clean up your room, you're going to, whatever, I'm going to take your phone away, and then it's like he half-asses picking it up and throws everything in the closet. Well, it's clean. No, it's not, dude. It's not. And then, I don't know. I'm just not consistent. And I think that's just due to the guilty complex or whatever. Like, whoa, what am I going to do if he doesn't have a phone? He can't call me. Well, I think it'll be okay.
Yeah. It sounds like sometimes your guilt will override what you want him to do, so then you appear to be not consistent, so maybe he doesn't take you seriously.
Oh, yeah.
We can work on goals to maybe make things more consistent.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. And that's the other thing. I feel bad because he's so sweet sometimes, and he does these amazing things, and then he just,
Can you tell me about some amazing things that he does?
He's just very loving. Like he's got a big heart for animals, except for he doesn't feed his. Anyway, we had a bird that ended up coming into our apartment complex, and it's 6 o'clock in the morning, and he's out there trying to catch this bird. Mom, you gotta help me catch the bird. So I'm out there trying to catch a bird, and then we also had a windstorm, and there's all these baby birds that ended up on the grass or whatever. So he scooped them all up and put them in a blanket, and then we brought them to Humane Society. But before that, he was using a little pincher and feeding these little squawking birds, just stuff like that. It's just, he wants to, he means really, really well. He does mean really, really well. It's just, he gets lazy.
So he is considerate.
Yeah, he's very considerate of of certain things, you know. Yeah, it's just he gets bored with stuff too, you know. Like I mean, even like with the little birds, it's like we can't bring them in until Monday because I mean they're not open, so we have these birds that are stuck in this house for whatever day or two, and I was like, you gotta feed them like every 2 hours. That's what I don't know. Apparently, that's what the internet said. So I said, that's doing, you know what I mean. Went and bought the bird special food, you know, but he just, you know, the first few times it was like, oh, I'm feeding the birds, and then it was like, ugh, you know.
So it sounds like maybe he lacks some motivation.
Yeah, something. I don't know. He just gets bored with stuff, and I don't know. And then just feed the dog. I did. No, you didn't. You know, just stuff like that. It's like, oh, he wants and just. I do play with the cats. I do play with the dog. No, you don't. When's the last time you brought that damn dog for a walk? You know?
It sounds like he's got responsibilities and that he just, with a little bit more.
He just needs some kind of push, man. I don't know what it is. I don't know what he needs, but he needs consistency from mom. That's what he needs.
Yeah. Well, consistency is certainly important. And that is another goal that we can hopefully choose to set.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm hoping that working together, we can set the goals that are needed for consistency.
Yeah.
It sounds like there's a lot of love in your house.
Yeah, definitely.
And it sounds like despite the communication differences and difficulties, there seems to be good feedback.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a great kid. And like when my daughter's over, we all have fun together. It's just, yeah. He acts extra special when she's over there, though. Like if you tell him to do something, then it's just like almost being defiant, just because he doesn't want to. I don't know. Maybe he just doesn't want to be seen doing the dishes. I don't know what it is, but you know, just stuff like that. You know, it's just frustrating.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. You know, I don't know. He's 12. He's 12. So, you know, well, you'll be 13 real soon, so.
It causes you to feel frustration when he doesn't listen or do the things that you have asked him to do.
Sure does.
Sounds like there are consequences to the responsibilities.
You're just not consistent.
And we can always talk about that in weeks to come.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.